Hey everybody, welcome in. I hope you can hear me all right today. Uh, I have been going back and listening to previous live streams and audio. Still sounds a little bit choppy, but hopefully it's bearable. I'm gonna try out a new streaming software next week, so uh, I think that could fix things just because I know a lot of other. Right now, I'm using Restream, and a lot of people use StreamYard instead. And I have used that in the past and never had any audio issues with it. So I'm going to try that out next week, and hopefully that will fix some of the audio issues that we've been having. But yeah, feel free to let me know how it is. I apologize if it's not great. Uh, I missed Never Too Old's chat, but they said hello everyone, or at least it's not showing up on my screen. Rancid Buttercup said postcards. Yes, indeed. Hal Ottaway said good afternoon, Daniel. I actually had a postcard I wanted to show you, Hal. I thought of you when I found it, and I set it aside. I don't know if it's in your collecting interest at all, but I just saw that it was Kansas, so and I thought it was a pretty neat one. It's an artist signed HWS. Um, it's pretty cool. It's like a kind of a beginning of aviation card. Here's what it looks like. If you can see that, I think it was, or I thought it was neat how it had the car and then the plane, and it says on it, Kansas, here we succeed without effort and got rich when we try, and we have abandoned the auto and now traverse the sky. I just thought it was pretty neat. Like a early kind of aviation related postcard. I don't know who the artist is. It's HWS is their initials, but I haven't done any research to look it up or anything. Never Too Old says audio is good. Great. Hopefully it stays that way. Apologies if it doesn't. Stacey says hello from Oklahoma. Don Steele says good afternoon. Hal said yes, I do have that. Yeah, it would probably be difficult for me to find a card you don't have, at least Kansas related. But yeah, I just thought that was neat. I don't think I've seen that one before, and I don't know if they. I mean, they could have made it like that for other states, but that one looks unique to Kansas at least. Um, but yeah, I've just been going through a collection I recently bought from Indiana, from Steve, who watches a good number of videos. But yeah, I got 22 boxes and a couple albums yesterday, and I've only gone through a couple boxes so far. But this was one of the cards that was in one of the boxes. But yeah, it's been really fun to go through that collection and see all the cards in it. It's always the most fun part, at least for me. Is going through the collection for the first time and just seeing all of the great cards, and picking ones that I want to keep, and which ones I'm going to sell, and just seeing all of the history is my favorite part, at least. But I think that's most people's favorite part. I know, or I would be surprised if somebody was like, "Oh yeah, my favorite part is actually, listing everything on eBay and doing the work," or my favorite part is shipping them out. I think it's pretty common that most people's favorite part is buying them and looking at them because that's the most fun. But yeah, if you're a collector, that's all you do, which, one day. Barbara says, "Hey guys, welcome in, Barbara." It's I just had my heater on. It definitely My office is one of the colder rooms in the house because I think it's warmer outside right now than it is up here. It's just like a big open room that does not heat up quickly, but it's been very nice the last few days here. I kind of hope it doesn't get super cold again. Yeah, it's 70 degrees here right now, and it's currently 68 degrees in my office. I'm a little sad we didn't get a really good snowfall this year, but with the weather being so nice, yeah, I think I'm kind of over it, and I'm ready for the warmer weather. But we'll see if we get another blast of snow or cold, hopefully snow. Nancy Ann said, hello, hello, 50 in Chico today, spring dress and sandals, pushed my hardiest plants outside for a week's vacation. And Daniel, I owe you a reply. Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember what I'll have to see. I just have so many. Don't worry about yeah, don't worry about it. Uh, with the way I handle my emails is really there's only work for me to do if I have unread and unreplied to emails. So if I am waiting on a reply from you in uh with the way I work, yeah, I don't have any work to do, so no worries. Yeah, 50 degrees. I'm assuming you mean Chico, California, which I know California has a wide range of temperatures, but uh yeah, I guess 50 would be a fairly nice day. Oh yeah, Chico's Northern California, so that makes sense. It'd be a little chillier than some of the southern areas of California. 50 is still a little chilly here, I think. Sicarius Leaf said, "Hey there, I posted a comment last night on a video because I'm super curious. How do you handle inventory in terms of accounting? Do you do first in, first out for all postcards or track individual cost of goods sold?" Oh yeah, sorry, I think I replied to one of your comments maybe today, but missed the one yesterday. But anyway, so for accounting, there's a few different ways you can do it, and you can kind of choose how you you can choose how you do it, but you can't it can be difficult to make changes once you choose one method. So when you kind of pick one, when you pick one, you kind of have to stick to it. Uh, I do cash basis, which is basically, um, money in and money out, and there are some advantages and disadvantages to that. The main it the main okay, I'll just talk about the main advantage and the main disadvantage. The main advantage to cash basis is it's much easier to track and do everything because it's just money in versus money out. So I track how much I spend, I track how much I make, and that's basically how I do our taxes. Um, you can track, the cost you have into every single individual postcard, and you can, you know, take that expense when you sell the postcard. Uh, and the advantage of doing it that way is you get a more realistic view of what you're actually making when you do, accounting and like your taxes. It just looks more realistic if you say, I sold this for $5 and it cost me $1, so I made $4 versus I sold all of these for this amount and I spent this amount for this entire year. Because, the first year, I think I made very little. I haven't ever lost any money, but the first year I made very little because I bought such a large amount of inventory. So if I was doing a different accounting method and taking the expense when I sold it, then my numbers would have looked much more realistic the first year. But yeah, I just, you know, it's called cash basis is the formal name. But I'm not an accountant. I am a certified financial planner, but not an accountant. So I can't yeah, answer your tax questions in depth or anything, but if you want to know what I do cash basis, and yeah, it basically just looks at the money you spend versus the money you make. We just did our taxes last Saturday, actually. So what was that? Like the 22nd or something like that. But I do use an app called Zoho Accounting. So any business related expenses I have, I record it in this accounting software and I categorize it. So that way, if the IRS is ever like, "Hey, you said you spent this much on inventory for this year. What did you spend it on?" Then I can look and see, "Oh yeah, I spent this amount this day. I spent this day." So I have all the records in the accounting software. Makes it much easier to do your taxes too if you just keep up with it in advance. You don't have to use an accounting software if you don't want to, but at the very least, you need to do a spreadsheet and record all of your expenses in a spreadsheet, and make sure you can access those records if you need to. Like, physical receipts are kind of a thing in the past, but yeah, credit, if you purchase with a debit card or a credit card, you're going to have bank statements and credit card statements that you can access to show proof of your expenses if you need to. Hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if you have any other questions based off of that. Nancy had said no Chicago. Okay, that makes sense too. Yeah. 50 in Chicago, though. That's very warm for Chicago. Is email better than through Patreon? No, I do try to respond to both, so one's not necessarily better than the other, but yeah, you can email me if you'd like. My email is daniel@mailseum.com, if you'd prefer that way, but no, I answer all inquiries. GT said hello all. Sorry, I put that up there. I don't even know if that got on the screen. That was just up and gone. Rancid Buttercup said, "Is that Zoho accounting?" Yeah, I'll try to look up. It's Zoho. Yeah, you spelled it right. I think it's called Zoho Books, actually. Let me look up how much it costs. I know I pay a little bit for it, but I don't think it's a lot. And they have a lot of other. Um, they have a lot of other uh, stuff too, like a lot of other different softwares, not just the books, like for inventory, CRM, payroll, projects. They have all kinds of different products, but the only one I use is called Zoho Books. And I'm, I can't really find, I don't know. Maybe I use their free one. I might not pay for it because it does say online that for one user, it's free. Um, It says, yeah, get started with free accounting software for solopreneurs and micro businesses. So I think I use the free one because I know I don't pay $15 a month, which it says is what the next level up is. So I think I just use the free version of uh, Zoho books. But yeah, if it's not the free version, it's very, very cheap. But based on what I see, it's the free version. Thank you so much for the information. In California, income tax for a sole proprietorship after state and federal is 46.9%. So it's pretty rough. Basically, halves net eBay. So income tax for a sole proprietorship after state and federal is 46.9%. California state income tax for sole prop. Yeah, I don't. It shouldn't be that much. But yeah, I've never lived in California and I've never worked with anyone from California, so I don't know for sure. But from what I'm looking at, California state income tax should be from 1 to 12.3%. Um, oh, after state for sole proprietorship after state and federal. Maybe you're talking about state plus federal. Um, which the highest tax bracket may be 46.9%, because the highest federal rate is, I think it's 36, 37, something like that, and California is 12. So maybe you're talking about both of the highest rates, but yeah, your tax rate should not be that high unless you're in one of the higher income tax brackets. So I don't think California would tax income that differently from, you know, of course you have to pay the extra self-employment taxes because you don't have an employer paying half of your Medicare and Social Security tax. So you do have to pay those, which makes it a little bit more expensive to be self-employed. But outside of that, there shouldn't really be a higher tax rate for self-employment income. But uh, yeah, like I said, I've never worked with anyone from California. You can always look into incorporation. So let me see. I'm reading some articles right now. Let's see. don't. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, this website says that your total income from sole proprietorship business activities in the state of California is taxed at your personal income tax rate. So, yeah, California does have a little bit higher state income tax rate than some other states, but really, the only extra thing you should be paying is the self-employment tax. The other half of the self-employment taxes, since you are the employer and the employee, you're responsible for both of those. So yeah, it's 7.65% Social Security and Medicare, or half of Social Security and Medicare is 7.65%. And if you're self-employed, you just have to pay both, which is 15.3%. Um, but yeah, with any type of working for your self income, you'll have to do that, even if you're like a, you know, incorporated or anything else. The main reason why people incorporate is, limited to limit your personal liability. But in my opinion, this is not legal advice. Selling postcards is a pretty low liability activity from my experience. But of course, somebody could always say a postcard you sent them gave them a paper cut and, they bled out from the postcard. But yeah, I think other than that, it's pretty low risk. Yeah, you said include self-employment tax, etc. Yeah, that should be the only extra thing, really, as far as the treatment of self-employment income versus regular W-2 income. Um, but yeah, enough boring tax talk. So I checked highbid.com the other day for the first time in several months. I've talked about it before in the past, and I used to buy a lot more from Highbid than I do currently. For those of you that don't know what Highbid is, it's an online auction website that has all kinds of stuff. They don't really seem to have much barrier to entry, so there's a lot of different companies on there, from larger like estate liquidation companies to smaller like mom and pop shops or just doing the one off. But yeah, I had a lot of luck on there when I first started and could get, a lot of really nice postcards at good prices. It wasn't, of course, every single, everything went for a good price, but there were deals to be had. And I went on there yesterday to just, browse the postcard listings. And it is kind of insane what online auctions, at least for the platform I checked, are going for. So, uh, I just wanted to ask everybody, feel free to disclose as much as you want to disclose. Obviously, there are going to be some things that people don't want to say, especially if you have like a site that not many people know about. But if you do shop online auctions, do you ever win any? And if you uh, do you pay an exorbitant amount? Because like some of the cards I saw, like they're nicer cards, but it's not like the street scene real photos and small towns and stuff like that. Just what I would call nicer cards. Maybe uh, cards I would probably list, but not the knockout cards. And they're selling for like $1 or more a card, which I thought was crazy. Because I used to, the how I kind of look at it, and this can vary depending on what type of collection I'm looking at, and I've paid up to is either $6 or $7 per card before for an aviation collection. So it's not like a firm limit, but how I look at it is basically um, for if I think I can, resell 25% of the collection, then I will try to pay no more than 25 cents per card. And it just seems like, from my experience the other day browsing online auctions, that it would be very, very difficult to buy anything on these websites and follow that rule. So Let me know what you think. I think it was Sicarius Leaf that left a comment about online auctions today too. It may have been somebody else, but somebody left a comment about online auctions and how they all seem very, very expensive. So, and this is just the base price. This doesn't include any buyer's premium, shipping costs, taxes. I mean, if you have a reseller certificate, you shouldn't be paying taxes on goods you're buying to resell. But uh, yeah, in case you don't have that, then you would have to pay taxes. So yeah, let me know. Do you shop from on online auctions? I'm not trying to ask the website you shop for or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just curious if anybody can really afford to shop on online auctions. I mean, the last few times I've bought for online auctions were stuff for my collection. And for that, it was a decent deal, but I don't know. I don't see how a lot of people are sourcing consistently from online auctions. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can tell me, yeah, I have this place that I get stuff really cheap. Don't have to say where it is. But yeah, I don't see how it's, super possible. Securious Leaf said, thank you. Pretty sure I calculated it right. However, that may be just because I was including my current full-time job, which bumps me a little in income, not much. Yes, that could probably be it. I bet you calculated it right. But yeah, if you have other income, then that will definitely um, make you owe more taxes on any other income, if that makes sense. Like it's a progressive tax system, which means the more you make, the higher percentage you pay in taxes. So, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I'm not saying you calculated it wrong, but yeah, the only difference between self-employment income and ordinary W-2 income should just be that 7.65% that you pay for the extra self-employment taxes that you owe yourself. And of course, that's not on the gross amount of money you make. I'm sure almost everybody knows this, but just to repeat it in case there is one person out there watching this that doesn't know that, you pay tax when you are a reseller or have another source of self-employment income. You just pay taxes on the amount of money you make over your expenses. You pay taxes on your net income. So, like if you're reselling, you don't pay taxes on every single penny you get from eBay. You get to subtract out your expenses and shipping supplies and stuff like that, since that's a business expense. So hopefully nobody didn't know that, but just in case, uh, Nirida, I hope I'm saying your name right. I don't know if I've seen you before, but Nirida. No, probably not Narita. Narida. Let me know if I said that correctly. Once I accidentally placed bids on two different auction sites from the same auction house auction, and it totally threw us off when I went to pick up my items. They ran their auctions on 3 or 4 different sites simultaneously. Yeah, that's never happened to me personally, but I have definitely seen auctioneers listing on more than one site, which I don't really have a problem with because they're just trying to get more visibility for their auction. But it's definitely something to watch out for because, yeah, you have to, if you like it on one platform and you go on another platform, you're probably going to like it there too. So it would be easy to bid yourself up unless you're careful and pay attention. Sicarius Leaf said, yeah, it was me. The average base price was something like $2 plus for basic lots when I looked. It just seemed insanely hard to keep it reasonable. Yeah, same when I looked recently, and it really wasn't like this when I started in 2021 or 2022. Not or 2022. In 2021 and 2022, when I was a newer seller, it just wasn't this crazy. Um, I mean, some things went like for pretty good prices. I remember one of the first auctions that I really got. I lost. It was one auction, but I lost every single one of the auctions, or every single one of the lots in the auction. And I remember that was like the first time that I actually wanted something and I just lost like every single one of the lots. Usually I could at least get one or two. But yeah, they went for, I want to say, 25 to 30 cents a card, and they were bigger lots, usually of several boxes each. So it was like, lot of 4 boxes of New York postcards, approximately 3,500 cards, and they were going for like $1,000. Was the price they were going for, and I thought that was very high at the time. But thinking back, or like what I know now, like that price seems pretty good to me. So, yeah, the prices have definitely gone up a lot for online auctions. Nancy Ann said online auctions are my only option. Yeah, and I think that's probably why the price has gone up, because a lot of people, don't have postcard shows or postcard clubs, or know older dealers that are retiring and can source from them. So, yeah, that makes sense. That that would be the only place you could source, and also makes sense that uh, yeah, it'd be more expensive because there's more competition. Stacy said no luck with online auctions at this point. Narada. Did I say that correctly? They said, I tend to make out better from online auctions as long as they're not themed, like drawing and postcard collectors. But finding those one-offs is time consuming. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say I have better luck too with the ones that aren't themed. Like, I like boxes. Boxes are always good. You know, and saying all this is probably going to make it harder for me to buy boxes, but uh, no, it's I like the lots that, and you have to be careful. I like to see, I want some good pictures, to know that I'm not buying junk, obviously, but yeah, there can be a point where more pictures can be worse if it's like, very themed and specific and draws in a certain type of collector or reseller. So, yeah, kind of, I don't even want to say mystery boxes, but I mean just a big box of cards where it's not really a certain state or a certain theme, like real photos or, any other topic. That's what I like and what I have luck with, just because those usually don't tend to go crazy. But again, it's hard to find boxes. It's tough. I was gonna say, and I think I've said a version of this before, maybe not this exact in this exact way, but if I was starting over today, what I would do is do a lot of Continental cards, and I would reach out to dealers that don't really sell a lot of Continental cards. Mike Blood is one. I know he doesn't do any unless they're older foreign Continentals, just because I've had a lot of luck with Continental cards recently, and of course they're not all good cards. I mean, I stay away from like the scenic ones of like a pond or a mountain or whatever, but Continental cards mainly of stuff that's, not has changed or is no longer there, especially amusement parks, restaurants, motels. I mean, you know what good Continental cards would be, probably. But yeah, if I was starting over again today and I didn't have, the people that I buy from that I do, and didn't have the amount of inventory that I do, I would probably lean harder into Continental cards, just because you can get boxes at 10 to 15 cents a card, and a lot of those, and I've listed a good bit, not a ton, but I've listed hundreds of those recently. I'll just put it that way. And a lot of those, I am the only one out there. And with really any other, with a lot of standard size postcards, even if they are, older, linen, white border, you're going to have some competition, and there might be 8 or 10 other people out there with the same card. So I've been very pleasantly surprised at the amount of competition for Continental cars in general. and you can still get them for a pretty good price. A lot of people may not like them as much, but I think, just because a lot of the older school dealers overlook them, that there's a lot of opportunity there. So I still list a lot of Continental. I've thought about, you know, sourcing specifically Continental, and if I have the opportunity to buy some good Continental at a good price, I probably will. Um, but yeah, that's just what I think about that. Comic Book Countdown said, "Is Continental a brand or a type?" Good question. Yeah, it's a type of postcard. Continental postcards, or it's an era of postcards, era and a type. Around the 1970s, I don't know the exact date. It depends on the manufacturer, but approximately the 1970s, manufacturers in the US switched from standard size 3.5 by 5.5 inch postcards to what we call Continental. Some may also call them international sized, because international postcards were switched to this size before we did in the US, but they're 4 by 6 postcards. So Continental, whenever you hear anybody say that, if they're referring to US postcards, they're referring to chrome 4 by 6 postcards made in the 70s or later. And a lot of the older school dealers, a lot of them do sell online, but a lot of them don't really list very few, if any, continental sized postcards, just because when they started selling, there was really no demand for those continental cards, because a lot of the stuff on the cards was still there. It hadn't changed significantly enough for people to really be interested in purchasing it. And they were just easy to get and didn't really have much demand. So a lot of dealers still think that way about Continental cards, and that's probably going to change. But I would say if you can get ahead of that, you can still get ahead of that change, because I know a lot of dealers still think that way. So yeah, what I would do if I was starting over, I would just send an email to like Mike Blood, Refried Jeans. Marielle Martin, I think, sells Continental cards, so I probably wouldn't email her. But yeah, the bigger dealers like that don't really deal in Continental cards, I'll just say, hey, I'm looking to buy bulk Continental cards. What do you have available? And they'll probably be very happy to sell you a box or several boxes, and they'll probably give you a good price, and it will be like a mutually beneficial arrangement, because they don't sell them themselves, and yeah, you will. Never Too Old said, "I really like them." Yeah, me too. I need to get more sleeves. I bought like I haven't ever bought a case of Continental sleeves. But I bought, I think, like 400 sleeves from SM Postcards or Mark's Ko-Fi store, and I've run out of those. So I need to get some more Continental sleeves so I can list some more Continental cards. But yeah, I've sold some really nice Continental size cards. My highest priced one that I've sold was $40, and that was a wig shop in North Carolina. I have it on a previous What Sold video. I thought I priced it way too high, but it sold very quickly for $40. So there are some that sell for more that I know of. Some like older amusement parks that have been demolished, especially they had like a thing back in the 70s where they built some indoor amusement parks, and a lot of those were very short-lived and can sell for good money. I know we had one in Georgia that I want to say was named after a TV show we had in the 70s, and those cards can go for $100 to $150. So I know some can sell for more like that, but more commonly, I find nicer continental cards of like restaurants, hotels, and motels, and stuff like that are more difficult to find. $10 to $20 is what I commonly can sell some of those continental cards for. I listed this one. It hasn't sold yet, but it's the interior of an ice cream parlor, and I think I can show you. I always It's like I forget that I can screen share using this software, but let me just pull up my store and I'll show you this card that I listed. I think It hasn't sold yet, and I almost kept it. I don't really want to take lower than what I have it up at. Uh, but I think it will sell eventually. It's just a really cool card. Let me see if I can screen share real quick. Got too many tabs open. There we go. Yeah, this is the one that I listed recently. And by recently I mean like within the last week or so. But yeah, this is just a really nice Continental card. Larry's Old Fashioned Ice Cream Parlor, Bradenton, Florida. It's obviously not a super old ice cream parlor, but this is becoming like, you know, what people have memories of. And I don't I want to say it's around the 70s or 80s, maybe the 80s. I don't know the exact age on this one, but yeah, if you showed this to somebody 20 years ago, they would have said, "Yeah, this is way too modern. We still use those cash registers here. Nobody is going to want to buy this. They can just go into the ice cream parlor and take a picture, and it'll look pretty similar." Like that's why they didn't have much value. But um, this one, yeah, it's obviously not the older it's obviously not super old because like people were using these cash registers within my lifetime, but you don't see stuff like that anymore. Or you don't see stuff like this anymore. You don't see menus like this anymore where those letters are I forget what they're called, but they're like the type of letters you just stick on. You don't see menus like that anymore. You don't see cash registers like that anymore. You don't see signs lit up like that anymore. So yeah, that's why I think the Continental cards are getting. There's more demand for Continental cards these days. But yeah, I always look for ones like that to sell, and I almost kept that one just because I thought it was super cool. Hasn't sold yet, but yeah, I'm confident it will sell. If not, I will put it back in my collection because I'm not going much lower than that. Let me see. I think I lost my place in the. Oh, there we were. Pushing Up Daisy said, I've noticed that younger buyers like the 70s era aesthetic and older buyers like the 70s nostalgia. Overall, great era to sell in lots of categories clothing, ephemera, toys, and postcards. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, and this is something, I mean, probably part of the reason why I like this ice cream parlor one so much is because it reminds me of places that we would go to when I was a kid, like at the beach. Um, Obviously it's not I wasn't, around in the 70s or 80s, but in the 90s, things still look pretty similar. Like it didn't change that drastically, and they still had like, similar cash registers and signage and stuff like that. Never Too Old says looks to be 80s. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and change my title because I kind of thought the same thing. That cash register just looks a little more modern to me than 70s. Um, the back is what kind of tripped me out because the back made it look a little bit older. Uh, but yeah, I think you're right. So I'm just going to update my title on that one. And that would also make sense. It looks more similar to when I grew up. Um, let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's see, 70s era. Oh yeah, yeah. The pushing up Daisy's comment. I actually had a friend tell me the other day, it was the craziest thing. I was like, "You're lying to me. There's no way that happened." But they said they went to an antique store here in Athens and they saw a couple of 20 somethings looking through the postcards very carefully, and they were talking about the postcards. He didn't remember like every single thing they said about postcards because he's not like into postcards. But he was like, "Yeah, they were talking about the dates on the back and what you got to look out for." And they were like two hardcore postcard collectors in their 20s at an antique store browsing the postcards. And I just thought that was super cool. But uh, I wish I was there to witness it in person. I would have definitely been very curious to talk to them and ask them how they got into collecting. But no, yeah, a lot of younger buyers are more into definitely later stuff than what the older collectors are into. I like early stuff too, but there's just something about, I don't know, mid-century America stuff that's really, even though I wasn't alive for a lot of it, I don't know. Maybe because my parents were, and it's just much closer to my generation than, the really, early 1900s stuff, but I see that a lot of people, have nostalgia for that. Never Told says Marker John sells them on Amazon. You mean the Continental sleeves? Yeah, I'm still a member of Mark's Ko-Fi store, so it's a pretty good deal too. It's like 30 or 40% off if you're a member, I think. So I might just go patronize Mark if he still has Continental sleeves. But yeah, I want to. I mean, I might honestly. I think I'm gonna. You know, please don't start a rush on the bank. Actually, I'm going to tell you after I send this email. So to make sure I get front of line in the front of the line. No, I was actually that email's gonna have to wait for later. I might be buying some boxes of Continental cards myself. I've gotten myself in the mood for some Continental cards, and right now I don't have many of them. I stupidly sold a lot of boxes of them to a viewer of the channel, and yeah, I'm glad they got a great deal, but yeah, I kind of wish I would have not sold all of those. But no, I'm in the mood to get some more Continental cards to list. I don't know, I really like them. Of course, I love all the old stuff too, but there's just something about those chromes. Where was I? Where's the too many tabs open again? Uh Fart Sack Jack, man, I really wish you had a schedule. I'm always late. You can just set yourself a reminder every Tuesday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, same time every single week. Uh, yeah, sorry, I need to schedule out the streams further in advance. How I've been doing it, like the day before, I just schedule it. So if I schedule them out further in advance, that probably help. Um, The hairstyle, perm, short hair. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one too. Oh, yeah, I think I kept one of them. But I had a Pizza Hut postcard I found the other day, and that made me really nostalgic. I think it was from the '70s or '80s, but even though it was a little bit before my time, it still looked the same as I remember, and Pizza Hut is definitely a core memory of my childhood, and a lot of other people that are in the millennial generation, I think, had the same experience. When we got good grades, we would get a coupon for a free personal pizza, and, they were just I don't know what it was, but they were the most incredible pizzas I've ever experienced, and I don't think I will ever be able to experience that again. The Pizza Hut that we had in town, so I'm just turning on my heat again. The Pizza Hut that we had in town, shut down. I don't know when it did. When I left after college, it was still here, and when I came back, it was gone. So I don't know when exactly it shut down, but I think a lot of the Pizza Huts have changed. But yeah, that Pizza Hut postcard really got me. And if I could find like postcards of video stores, I think I would really be into those too. Just because, yeah, we're unfortunately the never-ending march of time proceeds, and we're just getting older and older. So yeah, I'm wanting to collect all the things that I remember growing up that are no longer around. Uh, Pushing up daisies. Yes, that's so awesome. I've seen a lot of younger buyers in antique stores thrifting, in ephemera, collecting junk journal is really big right now. Yeah. Yeah, that friend in the antique store. Aside from that, a different antique store in Athens that I went to, I bought, you know, a probably like 30 or 40 postcards there a few months ago, and the person at that antique store told me, that, yeah, the kids that go to UGA have been buying a ton of postcards, so, it's really cool that, you know, because I know a lot of people worry about collectors getting older and if there will be, if postcard collecting will be a thing that younger people do, and it's just encouraging to see things like that. It is a good deal, the sleeves. Yeah, yeah, Mark has them. at a good price. I don't think he makes much money from his Ko-Fi store, but I'm glad he has it open. I know every video where he mentions it, I'm like, "This sounds like an ad," but knowing Mark, this is actually not an ad at all, and he's just actually doing this as, like, a service for people. But it's just funny because if you didn't know Mark, it would almost come across as like an ad, but no, it's just a good deal that he's offering people. Um, Part that checks all your boxes. Yes, I did sell all the, boxes I had of you can't really see it. Part of it's off the screen, but pretty much, I mean, all most of those boxes over there are empty now. That one up there, I still got stuff in that one, obviously, as you can see, but all those are empty. A couple of those boxes have stuff, and then all the rest are empty. I was gonna keep a couple, I mean, I can't just sell everything, so I sold all that I wanted to sell. Um, so yes, I have. Nancy said, "I have about 150 Continentals that I think are early with scalloped nickeled edges. Does that make a difference in pricing or desirability? I've not gotten to them yet." No, it doesn't really make a difference in price or desirability. A lot of the actually, probably more Continentals than not had the scalloped or deckled edges. I think Dexter Press, made pretty much all of theirs with the deckled edges, and a lot of other publishers did too, but I'm pretty sure with all of the ones I've listed, more of them had the deckled edges than didn't, so, no, it didn't really make a difference in price. It was just kind of the style at the time. Uh, Pizza Hut, the only reason I read books, yeah, it was reading books. I I don't think I can't remember if they did it for grades too or what. It was definitely books at least. But yeah, we had the accelerated reader program, and we'd get AR points, and I think if you got a certain number of AR points, then you would get the Pizza Hut coupon. I don't know if they also did it for grades or if I was just misremembering, but, yeah, those personal pizzas were the bomb. Fart sec check, we still have an old style Pizza Hut up until a couple years ago. They still have the buffet and salad bar. Yeah, I need to go to the one we have one, that's like a 45-minute drive away from me, and it's still the old style Pizza Hut where you can dine in, they have the buffet and everything. So I need to go there, but there's still some open that are the old style Pizza Huts. Never too old since a teenager in the '70s. Yeah, there's some uh, crossover memories then. Actually, that's Pushing Up Daisies that said they had the I thought you were the one that said you had the Pizza Hut coupons in the '70s. Well, I'm sure they were still you had video stores, right? VHS stores, or what did they call 'em back then? Video reel stores, and you had to put the reel on a projector and watch it that way? No, just kidding. I think they had VHSs back then. Maybe not, actually. Maybe you had to go to a theater. I'm probably gonna sound really dumb right now. Let me look up when VHSs came out. Okay, 1977. So, yeah, you really did have to get, uh, the reel and watch it, or, yeah, just go to a theater and watch. Um, Farsec Jack, as long as youngsters like Lil's Postcards, she is smart and has a very, very good eye. The hobby should be good, so long them types keep coming along. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very encouraged with, yeah, not only Lil's Postcards, but the other younger people that I've seen getting into it. It's really cool to see. Um, I'm not old enough yet where I'll be passing the torch, but no, I think I have a long way to go, and I'm still on the younger side as far as postcards. I like to but yeah, Little Postcards is great and love her videos. Comic Book Countdown, you probably mentioned this in your videos, but where do you purchase your postcard supplies? Another good question. I Some of the information is dated because the manufacturer that I used to publish from is, no longer making postcard supplies. So who I buy from now is BCW Supplies, and, well, actually, I don't necessarily buy from them directly. I buy a lot of BCW supplies, but sometimes different websites have different prices, so I think Hobbies Depot is who I bought from last time, hobbiesdepot.com. is where I bought BCW cardboard boxes, but, uh, for the other supplies, I shop mattbaseball.com, and he has a lot of baseball obviously baseball supplies based on the name of his website, but, has a lot of postcard stuff too, and somebody else told me about Matt's Baseball, so can't take credit for that, but yeah, I'll just put the link there in the chat. Hobbies was it Hobbies Depot? I just forgot. Yeah, hobbiesdepot.com is the cheapest place I've found for postcard boxes, and then Matt's Baseball has the sleeves and top loaders, and then the other stuff I get from eBay, the mailers are EcoSwift 6.5 by 4.5 inch mailers that I just buy directly on eBay. And then the 5 by 7 mailers I use for more expensive cards, I also get directly from eBay and the eBay shipping supply store. So hopefully that answers your questions. Teen in the 80s here. So you had VHS tapes at least. You didn't have to bring the film reel home to watch something. No, they had, what was it called before that? 8 track? A track? 8 track. Or is that music? My brother would know. He's an archivist, um, and does a lot digital media archivist, so he does a lot of, like, video stuff. He would know exactly what they had back then. 8-track video? I don't know if 8-track is just audio or video. I don't know. Let me know if you had anything before there were VHS or if you just had to go to the theater to watch movies. Sorry if that sounds like a stupid question, but I when I grew up, we already had VHSs. Book It program, yeah. And I wanna say that the old Pizza Huts or the Pizza Hut Classics still even do that Book It program. Um, and of course, there's not many of them around anymore, but if you're lucky enough to live near an old style Pizza Hut, I think they still do that Book It program. Farsec Jack, when the VHS and tapes came out, you had to be rich. That shit was super expensive. Yeah, I'm not old enough to remember when VHS came out, but I remember when DVDs came out, and I think DVDs was kinda similar, because and Blu-rays, honestly, a little bit too. Like, when DVDs came out, they were so much more expensive than VHS, and a DVD player it it was at least several $100. Um and I think I wanna say the PlayStation 2 and then the PlayStation 3, I mean, when they came out, they were like 200 to $300, something like that, but they were, like, pretty affordable if you're only buying it for the Blu-ray player on the PS3 or the DVD player on the PS2. But yeah, I know, we got a DVD player one year from, our grandparents, like, our family got a DVD player from my grandma and grandpa, and it was, a big deal, and we got a couple DVDs to go along with it. But yeah, that was one of those gifts for, like, the entire family because it's a really expensive gift, and it had, like, all of our names on it. But yeah, I remember DVDs were really expensive, so I imagine that something similar, is true with VHS too. Temu is not bad for EcoSwift style envelopes. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they could be coming from the same factory, who knows? Are they the same size? 6.5 by 4.5? 'Cause, I mean, if they're oh, okay. Yeah, I see the Temu ones right here. Um, let's see. Okay, I have to verify. Please click on the furniture. Please click on the furniture nearest to the smartwatch? What in the hell is this? I've never seen a verification like this. I failed. That is a piece of furniture. What the heck? Oh my god. Okay, click on all images where the bread is on the chair. That's an orange. Very weird. Okay, I passed. Okay, how many is this? Somebody is selling them for $4.21, but oh yeah, they look a little bit different. They look a little bit more rigid or a little bit thicker. They also look a little the size also looks different. Oh, they are pretty cheap though. Yeah, let me know if you have experience buying those from Temu. You can get 400 for $42.50, so that's a pretty good price. That's a little bit cheaper than the EcoSwift, but I don't know if they would work as well with standard envelope because at least from the picture, they look a little bit thicker, but also, um, from the picture, they look like a different size, so maybe that's not a picture of the actual item. But let me know if you've used it. VHS players were 600 to $600. That's crazy. YouTube just interrupted the feed with an ad for eBay. That's weird. That's kinda funny. No, I didn't let me see if I can refresh. Uh, yeah, that's funny. I have YouTube Premium, so I don't ever see ads anymore, but, yeah, I don't know if that will work or not. Is the eBay ad effective on you? I don't that doesn't seem like a well, actually, eBay if eBay ads are showing on my channel, just reach out to me directly, eBay, and cut out the middleman and just send me money, and I will talk about eBay. How about that? 200 GSM. What are EcoSwift? EcoSwift 6.5. Also, uh, Rancid Buttercup, let me know, what was I gonna say? I completely lost my train of thought. Let me know what quantity you buy them in on Temu, 'cause the seller that I'm looking at, the largest quantity they have is 400, and, I'd probably wanna buy I mean, you can buy more than one, but I'd probably wanna buy a larger quantity if possible to get a little bit better price, so if you have a seller that is selling, um if you have a seller that has them at a better or a larger quantity, a better price, let me know. Okay, it says the EcoSwift are 250 GSM, so then those Temu ones should work. As far as tech checks, I use manila envelopes and index cards for backers, to ship my postcards. Yeah, that works too. And yeah, if I sold, you know, I don't know how many you're selling, but the only reason why I use the mailers is just because I sell, usually 20 to 25 a day, so it would be a lot of work to do that for me, but, yeah, that's, 100 for $4.75? Where are you seeing that? Okay. We all need to get on the Temu flat mailer string apparently. Yeah, they do look yeah, okay, 100, let me see. Okay, you gotta be looking at a different store then, because the one I'm looking at has 100 for 17 bucks, so I'm just gonna oh, shoot, I left Temu. Gotta do another validation. Select okay, please click okay. Let's see, 6.5. Okay, let's see, browse Temu. Okay, I see 100 for $11. Okay. Oh, there we go. There they are. $4.21. Oh, I think okay, Rancid Buttercup. I checked in their back to 11 for 100. I got them on sale. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just have to keep an eye out. But yeah, okay, yeah, now they have oh, it's 25 for $4.21. That's not a good deal. Um, 6 by 8. Okay. A couple different sellers sell these 6.5 by 4.5 ones. Oh, had something on my tongue. Ugh. Uh, oh, yeah, okay. Huh, yeah, what that is. A piece of salad or something. Sorry about that. No, I see one seller has 100 for $11. That's probably the one you were talking about. Yeah, dang. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. But, yeah, thanks for the tip because that's, always good to save money on a staple like that that you have to buy. all the time. I wish somebody sold them in bigger quantities, though. Maybe I don't know, can you message sellers on Temu? Sold by who is this? Home Packaging. Maybe I'll just message one and tell them I wanna buy a lot. Yeah, the cheapest price I see right now is 100 for $11. But yeah, if anybody sees there's a lot on here. 5 by 5? No, that wouldn't work. If anybody finds a higher 6 by 6 would almost work. That's like a no, those are gonna be a little yeah. Yeah, if anybody finds, a very large quantity, let me know and I've been the last few months buying 1,500 at a time. That's usually like a 3-month supply for me, so, I still have 5 boxes of Eco Swifts. I don't need to buy them again until probably, like, the summer, but, yeah, always good to get a deal. I'll just have to keep an eye out. On Temu, um, it won't let me send the link. Yeah, you can't do links in, YouTube, but I could make you a moderator if you really want some link, but I think I found one you're talking about. I use or what's the highest GSM you've gotten away with? I do a 400 GSM for higher price cards. Do you do that with, and I have way too many tabs open right now. Do you do that 400 GSM with eBay standard envelope? See. I'll try to see what the GSM is of these eBay mailers, but I don't know if they have that listed. God. Um, I don't see it. Oh, maybe? No. I don't see it. Where is it? Why don't they list their GSMs? Okay, okay. It's from the eBay shipping supply store, so you would think they would promote their own items, but, actually, that's a interesting question. Does eBay have to pay promoted listing fees for their own listings? Obviously, they would just be paying themselves, but I wonder if that's an accounting thing where it's like a different department, so, like, for accounting purposes, they have to pay promoted listing fees. They probably don't. eBay 5 by 7 I I don't know what the GSM of this is. I'm not seeing the GSM anywhere, but I've never used them for standard envelope anyway. I think the eBay 5 by 7 paperboard mailers are a little bit too thick to go standard envelope. You can get away with it sometimes, but overall, I wouldn't recommend it. So the highest GSM that I've gotten away with is the 250 that the EcoSwifts are. Um, I have before actually put a, plastic top loader in eBay standard envelope, which I guess adds GSMs. I don't know how the scaling works there, but, as far as envelopes, I've only ever shipped eBay standard envelope with the EcoSwift. Barbara said I used Temo once with a credit card, and within 2 hours, my credit card was on the dark web and Capital One was calling me. It may be different with a debit card, not sure. Yeah, yeah. No, I as far as I know, I can't speak to your experience, but I've used Temu, myself and not had any problems with their payment processing because the payment processing is done by Temu. So, as far as I know, the payment processing is safe, but you do have to watch out for some sellers on Temu 'cause, I don't know if they fixed this problem, but, they did have a problem where sellers were creating accounts and then, they were new accounts and selling on Temu and scamming people. The only time I've gotten scammed on Temu was by somebody that lives in Florida, so, who do we really need to fear? I say Florida. No, I don't, yeah, I could go all day about online marketplaces. I'm to a point now where I don't really trust any of them, and Uh, I don't know. I like shopping in store whenever possible, or at least on a store's website that has, like, actual physical stores. Because a lot of the stuff that you can buy online now is just the same crap that you can get on like, all the same stuff on Temu is on Amazon, is on Wish, is on eBay, is on every other single website online, so I don't like buying that kinda stuff. Um, I had an experience recently with Amazon, and I tried to buy my allergy meds on Amazon, which if you buy any type of medication on Amazon, stop and don't do that, because the allergy medication I got, after I got it, I looked at the box, and it was like so I got suspicious because the al and this is like so I'm not like I just search for the allergy medicine I buy, and the first one that comes up is shipped by Prime, and I think it was, like, technically sold by a different seller, but these days you can't really tell the difference because it's all Prime. So I bought my allergy meds on Amazon, and it basically destroyed any amount of trust I had left in Amazon because, when I got the allergy meds, I noticed that the name brand or the brand on the allergy meds was different than what it was when I went to buy it, and that was, like, a huge red flag for me. So I researched the name of the brand, and I saw that it was like a I don't know, for lack of a better term, like a pill mill in a different country, and I went down this huge rabbit hole researching it, but apparently, in other countries, um, the I think it's the FDA that regulates them if they sell in the US, and I think I read that they announced inspections in advance, and, it's just really easy to pass the inspections, and, as a result, the drugs are very low quality, and if you read the Amazon reviews for this medicine, it's just like a basic allergy medicine, like, it should be the most simplest thing, but they're cutting corners, and there's a ton of reviews on there that are, like, people getting sick, and, uh, I mean, benign reviews, like it just doesn't work, but, like, people are getting sick from this medicine on Amazon that who knows what's in it, and it's supposed to be regulated by the US government, but they're doing a very poor job. So yeah, pro tip out there, if you buy any medicines online, no matter what it's for, over the counter like Tylenol, Advil, allergy meds, whatever. Do not buy it from Amazon. You can buy it online, but I would recommend buying, name you don't even have to buy, like, a name brand Tylenol or Advil. Just make sure you buy the store brand. So I think I or the one I buy now for allergy meds is Walmart's brand Equate. I've bought the CVS brand before in the past, and I trust those brands because of what I read. They're, manufactured in the US, and they're subject to, regular unannounced inspections, and, they have a lot more to lose than some random store on Amazon. But, yeah, that really scared me and kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I don't really trust anything I buy on websites like that anymore. Especially if it's a good that, is something you take like medicine. Of course, excuse me, for like Eco-Swifts or envelopes, I mean, it could be low quality, but it's not like it's gonna physically harm you. But yeah, I would recommend not buying your medicine on Amazon, and it's just really got Amazon is just shit now. Like, the products they have, it's just a bunch of I don't know, international junk that they say Amazon basically is Temu now, except Temu is a little bit cheaper. But yeah, Amazon just has a bunch of crap. Nancy said Temu is shipping directly from China, and I've heard only pays, USPS 50 cents per package. Oh, you mean to ship stuff? Um, yeah, a lot more stuff on Temu nowadays is shipping from the US. If you, browse it recently, a lot of the things say, shipped from a US warehouse, so they're just doing the same thing Amazon is doing now, where I mean, a lot of stuff probably still does come from China, but, I mean, pretty much everything from Amazon comes from China too. It's just one step removed, where you're instead buying it from a US seller who bought it in bulk from China. So, I view Amazon and Temu as the same. So, I'll just buy whichever one is cheaper, and I trust them the same too, based on the experiences I've had. I will say Amazon customer actually, Temu customer service has been great the one time I got scammed on Temu from somebody in the US. So and actually Amazon customer support is really I honestly, I might like Temu more than Amazon, because Amazon customer support is just so hard to get in touch with. Amazon this has happened to a lot of stuff in the US, and this is a common experience, but, so many of the services we like have just gotten so bad, uh, over the last 5 or 10 years. Amazon is one of them, but I remember, I wasn't on Amazon when they were only selling books, but I was on Amazon, like, around the same time they launched Prime, and it was so nice, like, the customer service was really good. If you had an issue with anything, you could chat with an actual person, and they were very friendly, and they were very helpful. They were very willing to refund you if something went wrong. It's definitely not like that anymore. And if you don't believe me, try to talk to an actual person on Amazon if you have an issue that the computer can't resolve and see how long it takes you because it is a pain in the ass. And they have a lot of things too. I don't wanna contact their customer service, but there's a lot of things on Amazon that, the computer just can't solve. Like, I've had a package delivered, and it was an envelope, and there was nothing in the envelope. And when you go to Amazon, the only option you have is to return something. You can't just say, "I got an empty bag." So yeah, I had to get in touch with an actual person to send me a refund for that, and that was a huge pain in the ass. Um, yeah, I just really dislike Amazon. Rancid Buttercup, sorry for the rant there. Old man in the stream said, "For people with eBay stores, don't forget to use your coupon." Yes, you should still have a month left, I believe. At the end of March. They should be quarterly coupons, but yeah, go ahead and use that if you haven't already. Um, Rancid Buttercup, I noticed that post offices filter out, thick ones, but central processing doesn't care. Yeah, uh, technically, there can be problems with the machine. I think it has to bend up to 90 degrees, I want to say, is what the post office says, but yeah, it's probably gonna be something that you can get away with most of the time, but even if your rate of rate of it not going through is only 1 or 2%, that would still be pretty high if you're selling a great quantity of them. Dawn Steel is too sketchy for me. Yeah, I should have researched the medicine more. And that's another one that Amazon had no option for. And I just didn't get a refund for that medicine. It was unopened, but for, like, medicine, stuff like that, you can't return it on Amazon, but I feel like there should be an exception when a company is selling pills that harm you. But yeah, there's no option for that either. Never Too Old says Equate is good, yeah. And I really I Walmart I really like Walmart now. I don't know, like, 10 years ago, I feel like Amazon was much better than Walmart, or at least that's what I thought. I mean, Walmart wasn't as into selling online then, and it was really only physical brick and mortar stores, but, yeah, I don't know. I buy a lot of stuff from Walmart now, and, I have Walmart Plus, do their same day delivery a lot, but there's something to be said for a store that has actual brick and mortar locations, and they're the ones actually selling their product. You can just trust them more, at least I feel like. Because with Amazon, they're not actually selling these shoddy pills. It's some other seller, and if they get shut down, it's not like it really like, the blame is with that seller who's selling the pills, and I don't think Amazon I mean, technically, they could have some responsibility, but they definitely don't vet, sellers as much as they should or vet their products as much as they should. So, yeah, I like Walmart a lot, and, the Walmart brands are really good. Obviously, there's more expensive store brands that are probably better, but for, like a retailer, I don't know, low cost retailer, I guess is what I would call Walmart. I don't think you can really beat Walmart. I like them a lot more than Amazon. Rory O'Connor, Amazon Canada allows you to say items missing. Yeah, I don't they didn't have that option for me. It might be because they had like, when it was delivered, they had a picture of the delivery, so I don't know, and I didn't s maybe there was a similar option, but, like, I got the package, there was just nothing in it, but from what I remember, I didn't have that option. Rancid Buttercup, around a Coke can is what they told me, but you can add a stamp to it. The Coke You mean the thickness of a Coke can? 'Cause a Coke can, I feel like it's pretty thin. Or do you mean, like, the rigidity of a Coke can? 0% return to me. Oh, nice. Yeah, I just know I've heard from other sellers that have used eBay might be different from your mailers. I don't know how much GSM the eBay ones are, but I have heard other sellers saying the eBay ones got sent back to them as, postage due or that they were too thick to go through the machines or whatever. Yeah, I'm too afraid to use those, but yeah, if it works for you, by all means. Nancy said, "When does the eBay store discount become available? I tried to order yesterday and could not find a coupon." Um, have you used your first quarter coupon yet? Because it should be available, like, the 1st of the month. Um, I or the 1st day of the quarter. I just used mine, uh, when was it? A couple weeks ago, I used mine, so if you're talking about your first quarter coupon, it should definitely be there already. Um what I do every time, because I never remember where it's located, I just Google, like, eBay, how to find quarterly coupon, and then I get this eBay forum post that somebody says, they're like, "Hey, save this link for the future," and I never do. I always just Google the same thing every quarter. So shout out to the person in that thread, 'cause I've visited your thread probably dozens of times now, to find my quarterly coupon. But yeah, just Google something like that. I can never remember where the link is. Um, Rancid Buttercup, yes, been around a Coke can. Okay, that sorry, let me turn my heater off. It's holy cow, it's 74 degrees in it was 68 degrees when I turned on that heater, and I noticed it was getting a little warm. Bend around a Coke can makes sense, though. Yeah, that's probably I can imagine that I don't know, things in the machine are similar to, like Coke can, I don't know. But yeah, that makes sense. I don't think with the eBay mailers you can bend them around to Coke cans, so they're probably a higher GSM. The eBay mailers are pretty rigid, and I ship them as ground advantage, so they're packages. But I don't think and I know some sellers have gotten away with sending a few of them, but I don't think you could regularly get away with sending the 5 by 7 eBay mailers as standard envelope without a good number of them getting sent back. Rancid Buttercup said, "How did you do with the Halloween postcard you made? Was it profitable?" Oh, yeah. No, I don't I might have made my money back, but no, it wasn't really profitable. It was just something I was trying out. Yeah, for those who don't know, it was a couple years ago now, maybe 2023 is when I did it, but I had artwork commissioned of, a Halloween scene, and I told them what I wanted and, described the scene that I wanted, and they did a great job, and I sold a few of them on eBay. I think I sold, like, 4 or 5 for $10 each. I didn't the artwork wasn't super expensive, so I close to making my money back, but, no, it wasn't really profitable. I mean, it's possible that it could have been. I only had the listing up for a couple months, and then I took it down just because I didn't want to confuse people, potentially because it did look kind of similar to, like, an antique postcard, although I had in the title, like the year it was made, and I think I had it listed as new, so, um, I don't know. I I can put it back up, but, no, I would if I had any art skills, I would definitely make my own postcards, but I don't. I do like taking pictures. I don't wanna say photography because that sounds too fancy for what I like to do. I like taking pictures. A dream I have is to, one day have enough time to go around the Southeast and take a bunch of pictures of abandoned stuff and just stuff that looks cool and restaurants and stuff and make postcards of those. Like, that's a goal one day to have, I don't know, 1 day a week where I can travel and do that, and I would definitely sell postcards of that, but another reason why I didn't sell it anymore is 'cause it felt I don't know, like, I paid for the artwork, and I paid for the person to do it, and I owned, like, all the rights to it, but part of it just felt a little wrong to be selling somebody else's work and to be making money from it, so I didn't really ever make any money from it. So I guess I feel fine about that, but, that's probably a reason why I wouldn't do it again. Even if I could, like, make money from that, I don't know. It just wouldn't feel right to me. I would, um, partner with somebody, but I don't know why anybody would do that because they could just sell it themselves. But if somebody, like, wants an idea for something and for some reason wanted me to sell it, so, like, their art, I would do that, I guess, but again, I think, you know, at that point, it would just make sense for them to sell it themselves. Nancy Ann said, "Yes, I used the coupon the last 3 quarters." Okay, so you mean are you looking for the first quarter one? 'Cause you should definitely have that if that's what you're looking for. Never Too Old says, "I think the eBay mailers are 350 GSM." I don't have a coat I don't have any cans up here, but yeah, I don't know. I could get a mailer and try to bend it, but they feel pretty thick to me. Why can't I find the reprint label in eBay? Yeah, that is another location where I would just have to Google it, and I think if you go to your orders if you go to shipped and sold, you should be able to sold and shipped, whatever it's called, you should be able to find it. Let me see, orders, paid and shipped. Okay, if you go to orders and then paid and shipped, and then, um, just find the order that you're looking for, and then hit the 3 dots, and then click, uh shit, no, I can't find it either. That's where I thought it was. Where the hell is it? You should be able to reprint it from here. What the heck? I know it used to be there. Yeah, I'm in orders, paid and shipped. Let me just share my screen, and I should have done that to begin with, but, let's see, share screen, and I'll probably just stay on a couple more minutes here. Oh, shoot,
What
wrong
the heck? I know
screen.
it used to be there.
Oh, no. I am sorry, I don't know what that just looked like, but I accidentally shared shared the video. Uh, I don't that might have just broken the channel. Yeah, okay, here we go, this is what I meant to share. So this is where I thought it was. Let's see, like, why is it not here? Uh, it should be here, like, reprint label. That's where I thought it was. If anybody else can enlighten us, please let us know in the chat. I swore that was where, you went to reprint a label, but, no, not archived. I can figure this out. How to reprint shipping label eBay. Go to my eBay, select sold or purchase history, orders, shipping labels. Ross, thank you. Uh, yep, there it is. And, yeah, it looks like you can click yeah, you can get any of them there. But yeah, I don't think that used to exist. But Art Sack Jack oh, wait, do you have orders and shipping label? It's the second one from the bottom. I'll show you. Um, right, yeah. Okay. Yeah, here's what it looks like for me, but it's orders oops, orders and then shipping labels. Oh, do you not have that there? Yeah, you have something wrong then if it isn't there, but you also might be able to click on orders. So, it should be in 2 different places. It should be right here after you click on orders, and also under orders and right here, shipping labels. If it's not in either of those 2 places, then eBay is doing you dirty. And, oops, oh, just closed that. Uh, yeah, I would, oh god, I have too many tabs open. I would just get with eBay support. You must be on the new eBay where you can't reprint your labels. Uh, no, I guess I don't have the same eBay you do then. So yeah, I wish I could help, but, uh, maybe they took that away from you. Have you done anything wrong on eBay? Maybe that's, one of their new seller penalties. If you don't have your ad rate high enough, they take away your ability to reprint shipping labels or something. No, I would just do eBay support. I'm sorry I can't help you. I thought it was in those different places, but yeah, they're messing with how it looks. God help you trying to get an eBay agent that actually knows what the new layout is and how to find that, but maybe you'll get lucky and hopefully you'll be able to figure it out at least. Surely it would be somewhere. Actually, you know what? Artifact Jack, I have an idea. If this works, um, I want you to refer to me as Genius Daniel from now on. They probably won't though. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. Fart Sack Jack, try to click that link and make sure you're logged into your seller account and click that link and see if it works. And if it does, I'm a genius. Uh, if you do not have an eBay store, you might not have the reprint feature. I would think it would work, right? That shouldn't be a feature that they just make you have a store for. Because what happens if you accidentally tear a label or something and you need to reprint it? Rory said, "I always get an email with the label so I can reprint also." That's nice. Yeah, I think I turned that feature off, um, or I know I don't get emails with shipping labels, so I imagine you can turn that feature on somewhere. Yeah, I will stay on until Artsack Jack lets me know if that worked or not, because 'cause I'm very curious if it did. But if anybody else is having trouble, uh, finding your shipping labels, maybe you could bookmark that. Yeah, it works for me when I click on it. Let me know if that works for you though, Artsack Jack. Yeah, I've ripped labels too before. Um, I mean, sometimes you're just shipping so fast that, you get ahead of yourself. It didn't. Well, they must have well, for one, I'm not a genius, and 2, they must have taken something away. That could be what Rory said about, like or what Brian said about having a store, but that's stupid that they would make that a feature that you have to have a store to access. So, yeah, I would just get on eBay chat and see if they can enlighten you. Yeah, good luck. God help you. Uh, yeah, sorry about that, though. Do am I still here? My connection looks like it's getting or I in my streaming software, it says I'm not here anymore, so just very confusing, but yeah, I'm sorry that didn't work. Hopefully you get it figured out without too much pain and suffering. sorry I couldn't be of more help. But, thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. Hate to end on a sad note. Hopefully Jack figures it out. But, I will be back hopefully Monday with a What School video. I know I didn't do this one this week just because I was super busy, but hopefully Monday, What School video, but definitely Tuesday, live at 2:30 Eastern Time, so, I'll try to get that scheduled out in advance so y'all can bookmark it or whatever you do on YouTube. I don't know, click the notification thing. But thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Hope you all